it's Lee from Play Guitar Academy. Welcome to your 5-minute fix. Today's question comes from Steven. How can I improve my bends without unwanted noise? If you ever tried to bend a note and you bend it up and you get a bunch of other strings doing stuff that you didn't intend for it to do, this is for you if you've ever dealt with that. Let's fix that right now. The problem is that most players think of bending just as pushing the strings and hoping it lands on the right note. But what usually happens, stray strings vibrate, or they get underneath your fingernails or above your fingernails, which would be even worse. And your picking hand lets those strings vibrate. It lets the noise slip in. You lose control of the strings around the one that you want to bend up to a certain pitch, and it sounds sloppy. The bends always stand out in a solo, and if they're not right, you're going to hear them right away. So let's talk about the real solution, and that's muting and form. We're talking about fretting hand muting on a bend. So I'm going to bend, let's just do an easy bend. This is going to be the G string on the 7th fret. We'll pretend we're in the key of A minor with a little A minor pentatonic, and I'm going to bend this note here. This is a D note, and I want it to sound like an E. I want it to bend up a whole step. So let's see what happens here. So this is as far as I got to go to get it in the ballpark. About there, right? Now take a look at these other strings here. I've pushed the G string well into the other strings. I've got a D string here and an A string there. What I'm doing is a two-hand approach here. So one, as I play these strings, I make sure that they go underneath my fingernail. I don't want them above my fingernail. If that string goes up above my fingernail, we're going to get a lot of that kind of sound. So we're going to go up so that as I push this G string across, the fleshy part of my 3rd finger and my 2nd finger touch the D string and mute it as it goes. So I get a silent bend there. Now I'm also running into the A string here. Now that is also being collected. It's like I'm collecting the other strings underneath my fingernail as I go across. But you can make it that far without any noise. Most people can do that. Where it usually comes in is when you release the bend. These other notes, it's almost like they get picked, and you get a D string and A string ringing when you don't intend for them. That's when the muting comes in from your other hand. So I'm going to rest the side of the palm of my hand on the low string. Now I know if I go too far across, I'm going to mute the note that it's actually ringing. I don't want that. I just want to go enough across the string that I can rest my hand on the E, the A, and the D strings, but still let that G string ring, and I take control of those strings, so when I let out, it's silent. Okay, so this is a really good way to practice this. Don't even play a note. Play your bends. Bend the string up into about where you think it would be in tune, and then release. Here, if I don't mute anything, you're gonna hear a lot of this junk, right? But here it is with muting with both hands. So all you're hearing is this string and the little bit of noise that it makes on the fret as it goes across. Very clean, no other sounds going on at the same time. So when you're doing bends, silence is the key. Silence equals control. And once you get this under control, your bends start sounding professional, expressive, and clean. And that's a big win for your lead guitar playing. So thanks, Steven, for the great question. If you're ready to take your bends and your solos to the next level, check out my free course, Blues Solo Breakthrough. It's 6 steps to confident killer solos, and you'll get 6 video lessons, tabs, and backing tracks that show you how to make every bend count, break out of aimless noodling, and finally solo with confidence. It's totally free and the perfect next step if you're working on your lead tone and phrasing. I will see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.